What you gonna do with that dessert?
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the birthplace of rock and roll, Cleveland, Ohio, where the ceremonial guitar has been smashed, and that means we are set for football at Huntington Bank Field. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Cleveland Browns. On the visitors' sideline, their head coach. These guys came out on top a week ago, something they haven't done much of to this point. His counterpart on the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready to show out in front of the home fans as they try to send them home happy at the end of this one. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And off we go from Cleveland. Oh, nice move. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Open man is Noah Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. They'll run. This is Bashal Tootin. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Hey, Lion! Hey, Soko!
Now Lawrence to throw. This is caught. It's Brown. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 29-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical to do this easy. They certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 1st and goal. A chance for an early statement here on the road. Here's a give up the middle. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Bashal Tootin, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They're led out by their first-year quarterback, taken in the 3rd round of this past April's draft.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2
this is not my playbook.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-to-1 as opposed to the 2-to-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. You look at this Jaguar defense. They're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, King. He had a man open, but he missed missed him, and it's incomplete. Here's Daniel Whelan now. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get scouted up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Now Lawrence. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now third down and 6 to go. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. Davis now to return it. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. The Browns offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's been very impactful when using his legs this year, both when the pocket breaks down and by design. You notice his name sits near the top when looking at the league leaders in rushing yards by a quarterback. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
3rd and 12.
60 red. 60 strike. Strike. Check smash.
Operating from the gun. King. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have the Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
1st
and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Back to throw. King. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The Browns had 14-2 heading into this final week. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Ready?
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Pass knocked free there by Tyson Campbell. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. You look at this Jaguar defense. They're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground. Well, they'll
say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it.
Let's go. Blue 32. Ultra. Hut.
They'll look to throw again. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And it'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first.
First down. First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Come on, set. Ready.
And able to work his way down to the 16. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be second and a couple. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Second and 2. Down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You won't try to get too greedy, but let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
At the 32-yard line.
Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play. Now Lawrence. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 46.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
7-7, our score after 1. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a first and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So their task a little bit more difficult now. Second and 13 that they're walking up on. Lawrence will throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And the Browns will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Looking to put a drive together. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes you're fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Ready, set.
A good position to be in here, second and inches.
Set, hut. Going to be railed.
Off the play fake. King. There's a short one caught by Finn. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
And the Browns.
Here is set, hut.
On first down, here's Jenkins. And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Here's King. Off play action. There's a short one caught by Finn. And he gets this to the other other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
It's a gain of
A first down there on a pickup of 25.
That's good for a Browns first down.
Ready.
First and 10 at the
Off play action. King. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll make it second down.
Out of bounds at the 43-yard line. A gain of a yard brings up second and 9.
Ready, ready. Black 40. Set, cut.
They'll run from the gun. It's Jenkins. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. King. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for a Jaguars first down.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Got a man, it's Brown. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
That's a jet sweep. This is Adams. And some space here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Lawrence. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll give him 4 yards there. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started.
For the field goal. A 55-yard attempt.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. We'll see how this one continues.
That's taken in. Isaiah Bond. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
On the set. Here we go. Ready.
Judkins going to run it out of the gun. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 32-yard line. Operating from the gun, King. Now he'll tuck this and run. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Here now, 2nd and 4.
That's right. Cycle. Black. 95.
Back to throw. King. Open man, that's Bond. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Ready. Ready.
Off the play fake. King. That's complete. Right around the 8. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8.
Snap. Here we go. Here we go. 60 ready. 6 set.
Operating from the gun. King. That's complete. Right side. It's Bond. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And within trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Here's Lawrence to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Let's go.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Lawrence. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Lawrence going to throw again. On the out route, this is Adams with a catch. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is going to have the Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. In motion, the tight end. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
To throw again on second down. Lawrence hit and the ball is free. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
Ready. 10 black.
King now. A final shot before break. Now he's going to step up and run. And he wisely will throw that one away. So, hey, we get it. No time to waste. Playoffs starting next week. We skip right over halftime and get back to the action. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Browns offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
At the 26-yard line.
Yellow. 22. Hut.
Operating from the gun. King. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
Let's go. 60 red. Hut.
Give up the middle, Jenkins. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. The ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Go red. Zoom black. Black ultra. Slide blue. Hut, hut.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll send Adams in motion left. Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. Touchdown, Jaguars. Chase Claypool, 38 yards. And the Jaguars have retaken a third-quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 17-14.
Browns 14.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up. Then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
From the 31, here's the 2nd down and 6.
Ready. Block, 10, block. Ready.
Looking to throw. King. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence. Right side, Claypool's got it. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Now Lawrence to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Now Lawrence. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Looking to put a drive together.
Down.
On the ground, it's Jenkins to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Back to throw. King. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 28-yard line.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there and a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Here we go, set. Yellow, 43. Set.
Off play action. King. This will be caught inside the 10. But he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
First down.
That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. Jenkins not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Loss of 2.
Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal.
95, smash, red. Ultra, go ultra.
Looking to throw. King. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it.
Blaster, 6.
Operating from the gun. King. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. With touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Browns take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now here in Cleveland. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Finds Tootin out of the backfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Oh, look at that. There's the stiff arm. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground. That's the run he's been waiting for, Charles. He's been bottled up all game. That run alone got him more yards than he had in all his previous carries combined.
And don't think for a second he doesn't know that, because every back that I know can almost calculate every yard with every step that they take. Had to be frustrated because of what's happened during the game. Has to feel a lot better after that run.
2nd and 10 at the Browns' 15-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going.
And will be intercepted. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Another important fourth-quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Off the play fake. King. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Intended for number 18.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Set, hut. 50, green. Black ultra. Ready.
Now King from the gun on 3rd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line.
In punt formation.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's taken to the 26. Oh, a 48-yard punt, give him 9, though, on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now out come the Jags. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
They'll try and set up the screen to Tootin. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Let's go.
Now Lawrence. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
Here we go. 60 red. Set.
They will start this drive with Ford. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The man is Bond. He's got it. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
6. Mega. Here we go. Set. Field. Black. 95. Ready?
Looking to throw. King. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
52. Ready.
Back to throw. King. He's got a man. That's Bond. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth.
Cycle. Set, hut, twist, yellow. Set, hut.
This is fourth. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Oh, a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
Black walk. Ready, break.
Again, they turn to 4. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 19-yard line.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Here we go. Blue, 32. Ready.
On the ground, it's Ford. And he is going to have a Browns first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium.